Okay, so what we're going to go through right now, guys, is I have a simple three-step process. And what that three-step process is how to find, fix, and flip real estate, and how to do it remotely wherever you live in the country and do it for massive profits. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I'm going to explain to you guys my process, and I'm going to show you how I transfer that process to people from all over the world. I have hours of testimonials. I have people that have actually succeeded using this process. So without any fluff, without any delays, let's just get right into it. So my process is to find the properties for pennies on the dollar and either fix them or just resell them wholesale to a worldwide audience. That's exactly what we're going to do right now. So before we get started, I want you to hear from one of the students that I've just recently helped.
Hi, my name is Amberly Salisbury, and I've been training with Mike, and he is absolutely brilliant. The strategies that he gives, incredibly simple. I highly recommend doing his training. It will make you money.
So Amber was one of the students that trained with me, and what I do is this process is transferable to anybody. It doesn't matter what your education level is. It doesn't matter if you have any experience in real estate. It doesn't really matter where you're starting from today. And the beauty of this process is you don't need a lot of money to get started. So my process is quite simple, and the gains are huge. So before we actually get into the mechanics of how we buy these properties for pennies on the dollar, I want to show you guys a couple of examples. You see a lot of guys out there, they claim they'll train you. They claim that they're going to give you the answers. But the truth is most of these people don't have two nickels to rub together. What I do right here, you see this property right here on the screen? I actually bought this property for $2,000. And right now that's going to sound crazy, but I actually bought that house right there for $2,000, and I flipped it less than 4 months later for $49,995. So, and I'm not saying that you're going to do the same thing, but what we're doing here is we're showing you how to start off small, how to start off with zero, very little, or a lot of money. If you have a lot of money to start, it's just going to propel you that much further. But the beautiful thing about this system is you don't need a lot of money to get started.
In 4 days, I bought 4 properties. I brought a property for $13,000, $15,000, $18,000, $30,000. These properties are going to sell for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 more. What's very important for many of you to understand is that through the years that I've lived, many people talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Mike literally took his decade of knowledge, transfer it to a person like me, and because of that, I was able to implement step-by-step plan.
Right now, you hear about a housing crisis. People out there want you to believe that we're in a housing crisis, that there's no opportunity, that now is not a good time to buy real estate, that if you buy real estate, you're going to lose. The beautiful thing is, I actually show you how to capitalize on that fear and anxiety, because there's never been a better opportunity to build wealth in real estate than right now. During the boom, people were rushing in, they were clamoring for these properties, and they were paying sometimes 10 times more than what we're buying them for right now. So the housing crisis, what I teach you is how to fear, anxiety, and stress. That equals opportunity. And that's opportunity for people like me, with families like mine, for people like you, with families like yours. This is an opportunity for us to capitalize, which we may never experience again. So you want to try and capitalize on this housing market before it's too late. You know, I like to believe that I'm a result of talent, but the truth is I'm just a result of technique. And it's a technique that I'm passing forward to people all around the world. I'm no one special. I come from a divorced family. I'm middle class. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My parents didn't have a bunch of money. When I was very young, my parents were divorced. And I was raised by my mother. I was raised by a single mother, and she gave me one gift. And that gift, she gave me a lot of gifts, but she gave me the gift of never telling me it couldn't be done. So from a young age, I always believed that I could do it. And this process that I'm now transferring to people from all over the world, it's been fine-tuned by me over the last decade. And now is the time for you guys to take action And now is the time for you guys to be able to do exactly what I've been training people to do. So I have a lot of testimonials. I have people from all over the world that have succeeded. And you can go to my website and you can watch those testimonials. So what I did is I actually removed those testimonials from this clip, because there's no point in me sitting here and playing hours of testimonials from you guys. I could do that and we could sit here for the next 2 days. But what I want to do is I want to explain exactly what you're getting when you train with me. I want to explain exactly what I'm transferring to you guys. And that's what we're doing. So I want to introduce you to my family. Do you mind if I introduce you to my children? What I teach you guys to do is how to provide. There's 3 specialties that I have. It's finding homes, fixing them, and flipping them. Now, subcategories of that, I teach people how to invest in their children's education tax-free, and I teach people how to provide for their retirement tax-free. So let me introduce you to my daughter. That's Kaylee right there on the left. She's 2 years old, and that's my son Ashton. He's 5 years old. And what I did is I established an account for them. And I established an account where they can buy and sell real estate tax-free. So let me explain. Give me about 5 minutes here, and I'm going to explain exactly how you provide for your children's or your grandchildren's education absolutely tax-free. So here we go. This property right here, 9 Pembina. Okay, you see that property right here on my screen? That property was purchased by my children for $5,100. Let me clarify. A CISA account, a Coverdell Education Savings Account, is an account where you're able to contribute up to $2,000 per year into your children's education account. What happens is when you find a piece of real estate, whether it be through auction, private individuals, through banks, through tax liens, however you find a property, you're able to purchase properties in your children's or grandchildren's education account. Matthew, this is going to be great for you because you have a son on the way, and a couple months from now, you're going to have a child. And this is going to be amazing for you to be able to open a CISA account for your child where you could pay for their entire education tax-free. For you, Ira, this is going to be great for your grandchildren. And for Chica, this is going to be phenomenal for you. You're a young man and you're looking to build a family. This is something that you're going to be able to provide for your children's, your grandchildren's education absolutely tax-free. This isn't theory. Let me show you this example. So my son and my daughter. So my daughter, when she was 0 years old, that's right, 0 years old, I put $2,000 into her education account. When she was 1 year old, I put another $2,000 in her education account. I did the same thing for my son Ashton. Now, they bought this property through foreclosure using exactly what I teach you guys to do. They purchased this house you see right here for $5,100. Less than a week later, they sold it for $36,750. Now, I say they because a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, that would be ridiculous to say they sold it on their own. But what we did is they purchased it in their education account. I simply put the property online to a worldwide audience, and the property was purchased from a gentleman from Australia online for $36,750. Now, I'm not going to just tell you something that I can't prove. So take a look here, guys. Zoom in. Take a close look here. This is my children's education account. You can see right here, this is the actual statement from my daughter. So you see, investment purchase, 911 Pembina. So you see the address, 9 Pembina. 11 is just the lot next door that came for free. 9 Pembina, purchased for $2,550. And it sold for $41,400. You see that? This is the actual account. So what happened is $2,500 left the account. $41,000 came back in. Now you're saying, wait a second, Mike, I thought you said you only sold it for $36,750. That's correct. They also paid the closing costs. With closing costs, it was $41,401. Now, what's half that? Figure it real quick. What's half that dollar amount? Now, earlier I told you that this was done in less than a week, right? It says I sold it for $36,750 in less than a week. I didn't want to scare you. I actually did it the same day. So look at those arrows. $2,550 came out on 9/1. $41,400 went back in on 9/1. And then you see, this is where my daughter's education. So every month, her tuition is $575. You see smart tuition. So every month, $575 comes out, and that pays for my daughter's education tax-free. And you see where the $41,000 went back in. So $2,500 goes out, $41,000 goes back in, and you see the minus $20,000 right above it, minus $20,685. That was the half that went to my son. Remember, I said my son and my daughter split this property. So if you take $41,000, 401, split it in half, that's the amount of money that each of my kids made, $20,000 on one deal. Now, what did I do after that? So now $20,000 went into each kid's account. What did I do? I bought this huge 4-unit building for $13,000. Listen closely, guys, to what I just said. I bought this 4-unit building for my children and their education account. So $13,000 came out, and they're getting $1,400 a month in rent. So every single month, each kid gets $700 a month rent. That all started from my $2,000 investment. You see the power here? I could sell this building right now. Look at the size of that building. I could sell it right now for $100,000. All $100,000 would go back into my kid's education account, and I simply buy and sell over and over and over again, all tax-free. Let me introduce you to Glenn. Glenn trained, he learned my system, and he purchased 2 properties within 2 days of learning my system. So he invested in my system. 2 days later, he purchased 2 properties doing exactly what I taught him to do, and he made over $200,000 in equity. Now, that was a rare situation. Not everyone's going to make $200,000. You have to have the drive. Glenn has the drive. He bought 2 properties after training with me, and that's what he was able to do. I don't just tell you guys how to do it. I actually take you by the hand. When you invest in my system, I take you through the entire process from A to Z. I show you exactly what it takes to start generating the money right now. Now, Chica, you had a question for me. You said, what happens to the people that own your system that don't have the $50,000, $60,000 to invest? Let me show you the property on 5th Street. Take a look, guys. Take a close look. I bought this property for $13,600. I sold it less than a month later for $36,500. That's a $33,000 profit in less than a month. And all I did is list it online. All I did is put it online and allow a worldwide audience to bid on this property. That's all I did. And that's exactly what I give you guys. All the templates, all the graphics. I show you exactly what it takes to sell these properties online instantly for massive profit. Now, once I sold that property, so I bought it for $13,600 and I sold it for $46,500. Now I just took a portion of my profits. You see this, Chica? This is really going to get you excited because I then bought this property for $24,800. So I took those profits that I made on this deal. So I tied up $13,000. I got $46,500 back. Then I only took $24,000 of it. I only took half my profits, purchased this house, flipped it immediately for $55,000. So you see, $24,000 comes out, $31,000 comes back in. Next, so now what I did, now look at this, guys. You see this property? I mean, is that not a beautiful property? It's sold brand new for $248,000. $248,000. I bought it using exactly what I show you guys how to do for $29,000. That's less than 10 cents on the dollar. Less than 10 cents on the dollar I paid, And then look at this. Sold it. Bam. $80,000 in less than 2 months. So I netted $51,000 profit. What do? Roll it into the next one. So now you start to graduate to more expensive properties. You see, I don't normally recommend jumping into the more expensive properties unless you have a ton of money. If you have a couple $100,000 sitting there ready to invest, you start here. So where I showed you before, that's where you start if you don't have a lot of money to begin with. If you have a few dollars to start, look at this one. I bought this property. It's beautiful, right? For $58,900. $58,000 out, $102,000 I sold it for. Less than 3 months later. And it's a beautiful house. I didn't have to sell it. Understand, a lot of people that train with me, they train with me just to buy properties like this and rent them out. I think that's your goal, Ira, is to buy properties like this and just rent them out and collect a passive income. You see, on this property, I got $650 each side. So even if I didn't rent it out, I could have just collected $1,300 a month in rental income. But instead, I flipped it right away and got $102,000 within 3 months right back into my account. Do it again. Guys, I could cherry pick the very best deals. I'm just taking a small slice. I've done this over 400 times. 400 times. We could sit here till next week and I can go through deals. But this is what I do. This is my formula. I bought it for $55,000. Less than 4 months later, I sold it for $118,000. If I didn't want to make $118,000 when I sold it, I could have sold it a day later for $80,000, a week later for $85,000, whatever. I sold it for $118,000, making $63,000 profit on this. So guys, the only reason I show you these examples is because I want to tell you there's a solution. They want you to believe that this is a housing crisis. They want you to believe that there's no money to be made in real estate. And why do they want you to believe that? Is because they want to scare you. They want to intimidate you. They want you to believe that you can't make money in real estate right now. But the truth is, I made more money since the real estate market crashed than any time prior. So I made more money since, you see, when mass media started telling people we're in a housing crisis, when mass media started telling people you couldn't make money in real estate, that's where I started to double and triple my profits. Because as people were running away from Florida, I'm racing into Florida. People are running away, I'm running towards Florida. I actually have the ability to retire you. I know you're a doctor, Ira, but I'm going to show you how to literally make money that doctors make in 6 months, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a year. And that's not to try and, you make insane money, I'm sure, but what if you could make $63,000 on one deal? What if you could make $50,000 on one deal and do it over and over and over again? Matthew, you're the youngest one that's ever inquired about my system at 24 years old, and I'm excited for you because I'm about 11 years older than you. And I've been doing this for about 11 years. If I could go back in time and I could mentor myself 11 years ago with the skills and the knowledge and the mistakes I've made now, I've literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on mistakes, attorney fees, experience to learn exactly what I show you guys how to do. There is a solution. And the solution is me holding your hand and walking you through this process. Now, guys like you, Ira, you might be thinking, you know what, I'm not looking to flip real estate. I'm not looking to try and sell properties to an online audience. I'm just trying to buy properties at their lowest point possible. Let me show you this property on Sunnyland because it's going to blow your mind. I paid $37,000 for this house. Look at it closely. This is right up your alley, Ira. I paid $37,000 for this house. It sold for, listen, $240,000. This house sold new for $240,000 back in 07. So back in 07, it sold brand new for $240,000. I came in and purchased this house cash for $37,000. Now let me show you. I purchased this house. My original intention was just to flip it. I bought it for $37,000 and I could have sold it for $80,000, $85,000 immediately. Made a huge profit. But you know what? When I bought this house, I knocked on the door. Let me show you. I met the nicest lady ever. I knocked on the door. This is the lady who was living there. She told me her story. I'm going to tell you the story in 30 seconds. Her story is this. She bought the house in 2007 for $240,000. She thought the property was going to double, triple in value. She was paying $1,976 a month for this house. She got behind. She was struggling and fighting for a year paying that $1,976 a month. She couldn't do it. She foreclosed. The bank came in and foreclosed on her. You know what happened? I knock on the door. Her name's Gloria. Beautiful woman. I knock on the door. She tells me the story. She's in tears. She's crying to me, Mike. She says, you know, I put $50,000 out of, that was my life savings. I put that $50,000 down on the house. I've been struggling paying $1,976 a month. I depleted another $40,000 in savings trying to keep up on this house. I didn't want to foreclose. I didn't want to give up my dream. I didn't want to have to lose this house that I struggled so hard to get. And she said, I was paying $1,976 a month. I just couldn't afford it. I said, you know what? What can you afford? And you know what? The market value of the rent's about $800 a month. I told her, you know what? I'm going to give you this. I'm going to lease it to you. If you want it, if you want to stay, I'll lease it to you for $750 a month. She agreed. So look at this scenario. I pay $37,000 for the house. I get a wonderful woman. I mean, a genuine woman. I mean, a woman that I literally, you want to know what? She actually cooked me dinner. She had dinner. She put up a plate. I sat with her and her family and ate dinner. It smelled so good I couldn't say no. Now she has a lease at $750 a month. I gave her a 2-year lease. But look at this. It's a win-win situation. Because I bought the house for $37,000. I get $750 a month rent. That's $9,000 a year. That's over a 20% return on my money. And I get a beautiful woman. Look inside the house. She keeps a beautiful home. So I get $750 a month rent. I have $50,000 equity sitting there that I could cash out anytime. But every single month, for the last year, I've gotten my $750 a month. She's never complained. She's never asked for anything. She's happy as could be. I feel good about myself because she was paying $1,976 a month. She gets a beautiful home. She's a beautiful woman. She pays me $750 a month. I make a 20% return on her money. And I have the property for the next 10 years. She's never going to leave. She's going to pay for this house 3 or 4 times over. And I'm going to continue to collect the money every single month. A 20% return. And if I wanted to, look at the house. I paid $37,000. You know what the land, the dirt, before the house was built, sold for $60,000. The land sold for $60,000. I bought the house and the land for $37,000. I collect $750 a month rent, and I can cash out $40,000, $50,000 equity anytime I want. Isn't that a win-win situation? That's what this business lets you do. I mean, it's not just dollars and cents. It's being able to give this lady her domicile, her dream, and instead of $1,976 a month, she pays me $750 a month. I own it free and clear. I get a 20. It's a win-win, guys. Look. This is what it's about. Look at me and her holding hands. That symbolizes this deal. I'll mentor you step by step. This is not based on my technique. Sorry, this isn't based on my talent. This is based on my technique. It's safe, it's legally compliant, and this process is guaranteed. If you do exactly what I show you to do, you will purchase homes. You will get properties for pennies on the dollar. It's not if, it's not maybe, it's absolutely guaranteed. Your investment will be secure. I cut out the videos because it's not about testimonials. You want to watch testimonials? Watch hours of testimonials on my website, heritagefunding.info. Now, I don't believe in, I'm showing you guys, listen, I'm pulling back the curtain right now. For 30 seconds, let me pull back the curtain. I don't believe that I would have the right to claim I could teach you this process if I can't prove that I've succeeded. So let me show you my actual account, guys. This is my actual account. I'm logged in. I mean, look, eVantage Equity Trust Company. Right now, I'm 35 years old. My account balance is $1,022,091. I'm just showing you guys my exactly what I have in there. And that's it. And the only reason I show you that, it's not to brag, but anybody who knows how 401ks or IRAs work, you know you can only put in a very small amount every year. So at 35 years old, to have over $1 million in my account, that's not bragging. I'm just showing you guys, because who do you listen to? You listen to people that have done exactly what it is you're looking to do. If you're looking to have a 7-figure IRA, you should listen to somebody who currently has a 7-figure IRA. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. It just means that you listen to somebody who has already succeeded. That's all, guys. And I'm not the only one out there that could do this. This isn't something that I did because I'm talented. I fine-tuned this process over the last decade. And I have students with actual success. You can see the videos on my website. It's a 6-step process. First thing we do is we find the very best deals. We verify that they're free and clear. We check the value. We place our bids. We secure the property. We actually resell it to an online audience. Allow me to reveal my system. Allow me to reveal exactly what you guys would be getting by investing in me. You're not investing in a bunch of DVDs. You're not investing in a box. You're investing in my life's work that's generated over $6 million doing exactly what's in this system. So here we go, guys. The system right here, you get 12 discs live. You get my live process. You get exactly what people paid $15,000 for. That's not an exaggeration. It's $15,000 to train with me live. You get that entire process broken down step by step on video, live video. It's worth over $10,000. You get that in my exact system. Next, you get to learn how to sell properties online. So when you sell the properties online, you're able to get a worldwide audience to purchase from you. Cutting out the realtors, cutting out all title companies. I actually show you in my system how to record the deals. How do you cut out the title companies? So let's just recap here. You learn how to invest tax-free in your IRA. You learn how to provide for your children's education tax-free. You learn how to find the deals for pennies on the dollar. You learn how to remodel properties, whether it's just having the house cleaned or whether it's a full-scale remodel. Whatever you want to do. My formula is, the more you remodel, the more money you make. And how to ultimately resell these properties online. I give you all the templates, all the graphics. All you do is you plug your pictures in and you resell them online immediately. It's that simple. I actually paid a graphic artist over $7,500 to give you guys these graphics and templates so you're able to resell online to a worldwide audience. You get 6 months of ongoing live video support from me, live. So you get 6 months live, you get all my templates, all my graphics, you get the ability to learn how to buy, how to sell, how to be a landlord. I take you by the hand and I transfer my entire life's work. Previously, the only people that could get my system were people that paid $10,000. I currently have a promotion for anybody who's either been getting my free training videos, anyone who's seen me live, or anyone who's attended one of my events where you get my complete system for $2,997. It's not a gimmick. I hold nothing back. I give you the entire process. I give you precisely what's generated over $6 million for me and my family. It's just simply a process. That's all it is, guys. So I'm going to get into all of your questions. But that's the end of the presentation. I gave you guys exactly what the process is. And that's it, guys. If you want to invest in my system, if you want to invest in my life's work, you simply send me an email, www.teachmemike, and I'll give you the level of assistance. I'll give you a level of support that you've never experienced. It's not about the money for me, guys. I make over 90% of my money actually doing what it is I teach you guys to do.